Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we got to recap the Memphis Grizzlies offseason. Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know why that came off a little bit weird. Either way, before we start today's video, I want to hear down below in the comment section, what did you guys think of this year's offseason? Did you guys think it was good? What you guys think was the theme? And tell me your expectations for the season. Next month, we'll have our predictions come out. So, here we go. Memphis. I want everybody to remember that the Memphis Grizzlies, for 2 years in a row, was the second seed in the Western Conference. This was a team that for 2 years in a row was one of the best defensive squads and one of the top teams in the NBA. A team that a lot of us thought was just a step away from entering the conversation of title contender. Ja Morant is returning, and let me tell you, this man definitely returning with vengeance, if I had to say so myself. And Ziaire Williams, and if you guys haven't seen the interview, go check out my interview with Ziaire Williams. Either read it on hoopshype.com or go into my channel. It's one of my more recent videos. But let's talk about what happened this offseason. What did the Memphis Grizzlies do this offseason? First off, I think that they went out there and they understood what the mission was. They needed to get Desmond Bane, Ja Morant, and Jaren Jackson Jr. some help. And I think they also knew, let's not overextend ourselves. Last year was a fluke. They're expecting this team to be healthy. With Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Marcus Smart being the core, I think them going out and getting Zach Edey was smart. Zach Edey's he's probably close to being a finished product, but I think what we saw Derrick Lively do for the Dallas Mavericks, I believe a similar thing. You know, Zach Edey, maybe he does improve, but even if he is a finished product, all they need is a big body to take up space, get rebounds, and efficiently score the basketball and be able to pass, to allow Jaren Jackson Jr. to shoot three-pointers, to allow Desmond Bane to do the same thing, and then allow Marcus Smart and Ja Morant to play within their game. I thought drafting Jaylen Wells, who's arguably one of the best three-point shooters was one of the best three-point shooters in the draft. What great guy's going to be able, if they need him, to instantly translate at least as a three-point deadeye. Then Cam Spencer, that's a guy that if you need someone, don't be surprised that either he starts playing and eventually probably takes John Konchar's job because of how good he is. Now, they did waive Mamadi Diakite, and they brought back Luke Kennard, which we were waiting for them all offseason to do because we didn't know what was going to go on there. So for me, the whole thing I thought was, what were they going to do when it came time to like free agency? And I think they knew they were, I would say the best way to put it, looking to not spend a bunch of money because they knew they had to spend. Also, I think they have to decide with Santi Aldama, and either Santi Aldama, they're going to re-sign him as soon as it becomes available. I think he might have become already available for re-sign, but he's a guy to watch because I do think that he's somebody that fits the mold of, at worst case scenario, he's going to be an effective role player, bridge guy, spot starter, really good bench guy. So he's somebody that I think they got to decide, and that's what I'm talking about, the free agency. They didn't go out and spend money because I think that, especially with the new aprons, guys like Santi Aldama, if they can get him on the Jalen Stick Smith deal, 3 years, $27 million, not bad. And I think if you look at the starting lineup, which guys, GG Jackson was so good last year that's another reason why I don't think they needed to spend, because they're like, look, yeah, last year didn't go how we wanted it, but at least we found out what we have in terms of young guys. Another reason why I bring up Santi Aldama, he's either going to take another level, because if you watch the Olympics, Santi, dude, he put up buckets. Now, do you believe he can do it? And you're like, well, you had that opportunity last year, and GG Jackson was the guy averaging 17 points, and Santi was the guy who was, averaging was averaging what? He averaged 12. And now I think there's two starting lineups that I think that could happen. Either Zach Edey, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, John Morant, and Marcus Smart, or Jaren Jackson Jr., Gigi Jackson, Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, and John Morant. I guess the third lineup is Santi Aldama, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, John Morant. So you got to figure that out. I'd assume at this point you're running 6-man if Brandon Clark's fully healthy. We're going back to Brandon Clark being the 6-man that he was in the past. Unless unless that's not what's happening and they plan to phase Mr. Brandon Clark out. Because Vince Williams was also a beast last year. Luke Kennard's going to be a 3-point guy. He'll come out and do stuff. I think we still need... They also have Yuki Kawamura, who I love. And if you guys don't know, I actually scouted him last year for a G League team. They were actually trying... A certain G League team was trying to bring him over last year. And they thought they were going to bring him over here this year, but committed to the Grizzlies early. And the Grizzlies were the same team that had Jacob Gilyard. So they love Yuki. So Yuki could take the job away from Scottie Pippen or even make the roster. Right now, they do have one roster spot. So Jay Huff, Scottie Pippen, and Cam Spencer and Yuki probably duking it out. And either one of the two-way guys will get converted, and then Yuki stays or Yuki makes it. And I think they're really trying to figure out if Cam, Scottie, or Yuki can be third string point guard. Because we know the shooting guard, Smart, Kennard are there. Then probably behind Bane, it's going to be Bane, Williams, Wells. Like, I think that's like just evident right there. And I think then power forward's the biggest question mark because you're looking at Gigi, Santi, Jake, maybe a little bit. I think Brandon Clark at this point is more of a power forward. I mean, a center, my apology, than a power forward because he doesn't have the 3-point shot. So I would say Gigi Aldama are duking it out right there. And again, guys, like I think the draft and just looking at their team where they had continuity, where their front court, they're like, we like Gigi, we like Jaren, we like Santi, we like Brandon, we brought in Zach, we think he's going to be an instant player. Then you're now trying to, and I think they know that Vince Williams, Luke Kennard can all play. They know what John Conchar is. And then the biggest question mark is, will Jake LaRavia take that step? I know I haven't talked about Derrick Rose, but I think at this point, Derrick Rose is just veteran presence, guys. Nothing against the great D Rose, but I think Derrick could have checked out last year, but and I know he dealt with he had some injuries flare up, but the whole thing with me and Derrick is he played 24 games last year, 16 minutes a night. I think the biggest thing with him at this point is does he even... I know he shot 46% from the field, 36% from 3, but even on the Knicks the year before, he was playing 12 minutes a night. That's the rule, right? We know what that's why I said the whole video third string. Like, I do believe Derrick Rose is the backup point guard, but Derrick's coming out here and giving you about 15 minutes a night, 6 to 8 points. He might get hot and you leave it a little longer. He'll drop a few assists. He's a good vet. I just didn't know worth mentioning. That's probably that. Yeah. Let me hear your thoughts.